called it Sadness Bastards, but the Black Crowes, here's my album of the year, Happiness Bastard.
Hey, Sadness Bastard works as a Cure album.
Hi, this is Steve Hill. You're on the All Over the Place podcast where the fun sanity never ends.
Hello and welcome back to a very special New Year's Eve edition of All Over the Place. I am your host, Eric Portvoznik, and it's a night of imbibing all across the world. And who are we to say no to that? That's right. You'll see that go down more as well, the level as well as the frozen part. So let's bring in all the fellow friends and co-hosts. Jim Culver, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. And what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Shiner Bock.
All right. So
a delightful brew out of Texas.
This, if you couldn't read it, folks, that is a fabulous Bullet Frontier whiskey bourbon. And Marty Zamora, what are you having tonight?
Well, let's see. I have a brand new bottle of Brothers Bond.
Ooh, very nice.
Two guys from a show. My wife apparently knows the show.
Okay, excellent.
And Bush Latte.
Bush beer. All right, very nice.
Bush. And a little of that.
Yeah, and let's share our drinks of rehydration here. This would be lemonade for me.
Oh, we're doing the rehydration drink?
Well, you showed yours with the Gatorade, so yep.
Agua.
And yes, we've got some more here in the mug as well.
So I need to open mine.
All right, there you go. Well, while Marty is doing that to properly get his liquor available for his lips, the tastiness, I again just want to thank everybody all over the world, and I'm going to get into our little breakdown here. All around the world, we grew so much in 2024 as we look back on this year and look ahead to 2025. But I just want to list a few of the countries that we added this year. We are now heard in Chile, Brazil, New Zealand, Italy, Poland, Finland, Austria, and Croatia. And finally, how could I almost left it off. I saved it for last and then did the proper end as well. We are now heard in Ghana.
Woo, Ghana.
And everybody. So let's see.
Cheers to Ghana.
Yes, cheers to Ghana. Very good. Bear in mind, folks, we're all sober right now. That probably will change over the course of the next however many minutes we decide to go tonight.
We're totally sober.
We're all feeling very responsible at this point.
I should have been drinking more earlier as the Penn State women's volleyball won the national championship today.
Yes, I saw that.
In a hostile crowd in Kentucky.
Congratulations, Penn State.
Oh, we got cheers again. Yes, Penn State. We are.
We are Penn State.
Yeah, since the last show, Marty has been inducted officially now. Although he was on the field, as we've talked about on prior shows, Marty was on the field at the post Rose Bowl a couple years ago. But now we have officially welcomed him into Nittany Nation this week. He's an honorary Nittany Lion. So for Marty.
Hey, on the bandwagon.
Salute.
Very good. All right. But Ghana, however, it's been mentioned on the show before that there were 4 states where we have not quite made inroads yet. It's now down to 2. Ooh. And I'm very surprised because we did a show earlier this year. One of our 3 first was national parks and national monuments. And somehow South Dakota and Alaska are still on our to-be-heard list.
Wow.
Despite being mentioned several times on the show.
Numerous times in the show and tagged numerous times Alaska and South Dakota. Get on the board, get on the stick, get on board. I'll mix my metaphors. I'll do it. It's what, I'm in close.
All right, I'm going to go ahead, raise my hand. I'm responsible for us not having Alaska. Hand up.
I mean, you did vacation there earlier this year.
I was in Alaska. All I had to do was get me some Wi-Fi signal and download the show. I failed.
Well, let me ask you this: did you and/or your amazing wife Nicole still have any contact information from the people in Alaska, even though you're on a cruise ship?
Yeah. No.
When you guys docked?
Yeah, we met a few cool people, but didn't exchange information with any Alaskans.
Well, looks like you got to go there again.
Alaskonians? Alaskites. I don't know.
Alaskanders. No, it's just Michigan sounded stupid. I'm sorry, silly. Not to judge, just sounding silly, not stupid. Don't want to offend our Michigan listeners.
Judge.
Yes, but
You should know better. Live in a state like that.
I thought you were going to say you behaved so badly in Alaska that they want to have nothing to do with us now. I thought that's where you were going with that story.
Yeah, I have contact numbers, but they won't respond. It's weird.
All right, well, so I'm going to throw one back just for any good excuse. Alaska, South Dakota, you will come on board in 2025.
Let's do it.
I'll drink to that.
So, and also before and as we're rolling into the show, and I was going to just hopefully be able to remember all this stuff, but we got a long list here, folks, of people I want to thank. We had a lot of guests this year. We had over half of the year we had guests, and then the rest was three-fers and freestyles, and we are so thankful for all of our guests. And I right out of the gate, I want to thank Ray Roldan from Ray B Inc. with the publicity, and also Chip and Jen and Renee over at Chipster PR and Consulting. They brought us so many great guests this year, and either through them or through connections that we have and we know, I'm going to list them all down here very quickly, just rattle them off. Thank you, everybody on this list. You are also amazing for coming on the show. And a few of them we're going to have on next year. I've already made had some conversations. And we're going to start out with Brian Urso. Jim, you brought him on board. And, Brian came on for our prog rock show. And be sure to check out his band, Gideon's Mob. Zoe Rachel and Ava Aston. And Zoe, you find him anywhere. He's the multimedia god. Lowercase g, Zoe. I'm not going to be blasphemous there. Lowercase g. John Ziegler returned to the show, and it's always great having John on. And I'm so glad, when we had John on the show, he was on the brink of ending his podcast, and he brought it back, and it's a subscription-based one now. So make sure you check out John Ziegler, and with the benefit of hindsight, on all your audio platforms. And John, always love having him. He's a great dude, and so much knowledge up there that he shares with all of us. Author C.R. Allen talking about his book Club Lithium. Steve Hackett. Late of Genesis, and now just kicking it solo, and had so much fun with him. All these guests, we had so much fun. John Scheinfeld, the director of What the Hell Happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Dana Pappas on. And Dana will be joining us again soon, although we need to keep that one on the DL just a little bit. So much for that DL. But we just won't say it when. We won't say it when she's coming back, but Dana will be rejoining us soon. Dan Schinder from DrumTalkTV. We had a great threefer with him, talking about our favorite drummers. Uli John Roth, Sammy Lee from Red Rain, Danny Saber, who is actually Danny. Here's why he came on the first time. The amazing Michael Hutchins, 10-inch LP, not an LP, be an EP. But then later in the year, Danny came back to talk about how well that did. I'm going to bring it back here. I fucking love Michael Hutchins and Danny so much for doing this. And he later released it to popular demand on the CD. Looking forward to more of these, and we'll have Danny back on when the further 10-inch releases come out and the more remixes. Oh, God, so much fun talking with Danny. Mark Daly returned to the show to talk about, and let me just break this out. That's right, guys. I got vinyl. I have visuals here. Mark Daly, thank you so much for all the great music. And Devil's Arms, have this on vinyl now. And the autographed picture of Mark right there came with that. So we're going to have him back on next year when he's just flowing with music. So we'll have him back on. I want to thank Harlan Bowl. He was able to bring us William Keck on to talk about his book, When You Step Upon a Star, as well as Jerry Jewell, awesome comedian and actress, coming on talking about Jerry's Jewels and Gems. We also had Thaddeus McCotter, an old friend of the Radio Free Threedonia. He came on, talked to fun threefer from him, talking about summer songs. Chris Raymond, you can see Chris's book right there. Men in White, Gutsy Against All Odds, Return of Penn State Football. So much fun. Penn Stater, so damn well I had fun talking with him. I hope you guys did as well. Let's see, Chris Pereira from the Tepeyac Institute. He'll be coming back next year to talk about our favorite faith-based films. Sam Mitchell from Autism Rocks and Rolls. Steve Luongo came on to talk about his projects with John Entwistle projects. Freedom Rockets made their return to talk about their debut album. So good having those guys on. Talk about American Trash album, produced by Tommy Stinson from The Replacements. Our old friend Christian Toto was back with us, and I've got a sneaking feeling he'll be with us for one of our upcoming movie-based threefers. Always fun having Christian on the show. From the band Nectar, we had Derek, Rich, and Marianne. Lisa Caprelli, author. Let's see, Jeffrey Bryan made a return from the K-Tel All-Stars. We had a fun threefer with him talking about supergroups, and we constructed our own supergroup on that one. We missed you on that one, Marty. It would have been fun for you. Mike Weinstein from the Boys Burger Club. So much fun with him talking burgers and beyond, and dogs. And hopefully the future bourbon or whiskey bourbon to Mike, who loves alcohol as much as we do. I saw that, Marty. Drink. And
not for me.
Yeah,
I'm worried Jim's going to get too drunk on that beer.
Yeah, no shit. All right, and we had Mark, Pete, and Adam from Carry On Band, and our final guest of the year, just on last week, Steve Hill, awesome blues / rock / whatever you want to call him. Steve did not like being pigeonholed into one particular genre. He's a one-man band, so he can. I'll let him say whatever he wants. It was so much fun having Steve Hill on, and let's not forget that Steve Hill talking about his album Hanging by a String or Hanging on a String. And so, yeah, we had a great year, and I cannot thank everybody for being on the show with us. We enjoy talking with you. And folks, you're watching, you're listening. If you got projects you got to promote or want to promote, you've got friends who have projects that you want to have them come on. We're always here to help promote the project. So to everybody who came on this year, who helped get them on, thank you so much from Team All Over the Place.
Here.
And just very quickly, I do also want to, and you guys fill in the blanks with any more ones that meant a little bit to you guys. But I know we had our little tribute to Paul Di'Anno, the Iron Maiden, original Iron Maiden vocalist who passed away. And actually, Marty, since you weren't able to be with us on that show, you're the biggest Maiden fan I know. And what did Paul Di'Anno mean to you?
Well, I'll tell you, I discovered Maiden kind of mostly Number of the Beast. That's where I came in. And then, and it was right around the time of Peace of Mind being released and all that. And it was probably maybe a year into me being into Maiden that I got turned on to the early stuff with Paul Di'Anno. And I'm like, wow, because I came from the punk scene and it was so much more raw, the music they made back then. And
yeah,
they were newer, but with Paul Di'Anno, it was a whole different vibe because he's a different kind of singer. And man, loved it. Fantastic. And thank you to the guy who turned me on to that. Hey, have you heard this one? Who's that? This is Iron Maiden. Holy crap. So I was blown away. I'm a Bruce Dickinson fan, but Paul Di'Anno is just fantastic, man. That guy was so much fun.
And knowing you, because you were, like I said, coming from the punk stuff, it would have made, to me, would have made more sense that you would have heard of them sooner, because coming from that punk aesthetic into the metal, that's the perfect bridge right there.
Yeah. I was surprised that I hadn't heard it accidentally or something, and maybe I hadn't, just thought it was, I don't know, Circle Jerk or something. But I hadn't heard it, and so when I did, I was like, wow, this is really great. Kind of harken back to my old years of having a mohawk and whatnot.
Ooh, are there pictures of you with a mohawk that I haven't seen?
I've looked and I can't find any. I've been unable to find a mohawk picture.
All right, well, to Marty being a tease.
There we go.
All I got is a faux hawk now, folks, and I'm not going to bother with it. But another
Paul Di'Anno.
Yes. Well, one more for Paul.
One more for Paul.
I want to switch over to Jim for this next one, because yesterday, and I'll say a little bit more about it later, but Jim shared something on Facebook about the passing of someone who meant a whole lot to me as a baseball player. And Jim had a great story. I want him to share it, because Jim is a Northern California guy. But Ricky Henderson, the greatest leadoff hitter and base stealer of all time, passed away yesterday, as of the day we're recording this. And I still say taping. I'm so 1980s/90s. But Jim, go. I mean, just being being a guy who probably saw Ricky numerous times up there in
Yeah.
Oakland. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the '80s in the Bay Area, and it was really an amazing time to grow up an A's fan. You know, we had these just absolute baseball gods. You had Ricky Henderson, Dave Stewart, McGuire, Canseco. Of course, you know, we had our illusions shattered about some of them later. But Henderson,
Carney Lansford. Don't forget Carney Lansford.
Raleigh Fingers. Well, he was out of the game by then, but
yeah.
But just these amazing Eckersley, these absolutely amazing players. And of course, I had all their cards. But they were just fantastic athletes. They were incredible players. Ricky Henderson had to be one of the best. The guy could just get up there and just steal a base like it was nothing. And incredible speed, and hit 3,000 hits in his career. And you know, not a lot of players are that fast and that good a hitter at the same time. It takes a certain skill, but absolutely incredible on the bases. I just happened to be at the game where he broke Ty Cobb's record for most stolen bases in his career, and that was incredible. I'd been a fan for years at that point, but being there for that was really something special. The entire game came to a dead stop. You know, the announcer at the beginning of the game, the announcer said, if Ricky Henderson steals one this game, he's gonna smash this record. And of course he did. And the entire game came to a dead stop, and with one of the longest standing ovations I've ever seen. And it was really an incredible moment to be part of that piece of baseball history.
So you were at the game where he had the famous shot, the iconic shot.
Pulled the base over his head. Yep.
You were there.
I was there. Yeah. I was like 8 years old. It was incredible to see that. And it's one of the reasons I'm a lifelong A's fan, even though I don't live in California anymore. Just having that those memories and all of that just wedded to my childhood, and it's hard to let go of that, even though you're living with another team now, you know. He was absolutely incredible athlete, one of my all-time favorites, and it was sad to see him, sad to lose him in his 60s. He should have had a lot more years on him, but hell of a phenomenal athlete.
And I don't think anybody perfected the art of speaking in the third person better than Ricky.
Quite possibly.
Truly a do we want to call it a gift? I don't know. But here's the thing. When Ricky Henderson was doing it, I didn't care, because the man was always having fun. He knew baseball was a game, and you didn't know on a day if he went 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. That he was just out there playing the game.
Yep, absolutely. But you knew it was going to be something special, because he just went out there and just crushed it, everything I saw him do. It was incredible.
Man, I'm so jealous. You got to see the A's when they were like resuscitating that dynasty that they had in the early 70s.
Yeah, it was something else. And obviously the scandals later, a lot of that talent went away, and you ended up in Moneyball territory after that. But it was really an incredible time to grow up and go to those games. Even though we lived hours away and had to take public transportation, it was well worth it to go every chance we got.
Very nice. Well, I could go on and on forever. I will just say that as a baseball player in the early 80s, early mid 80s, anybody my age, we did what we could to be like Ricky Henderson, and someone like me who loved stealing bases did what I could. Wasn't the tallest guy. Ricky was 5'10", so by baseball standards, maybe a little bit below average for a professional baseball player. But man, you make the best with what you got, and just. I didn't realize how much it would hit me. I don't know these people. To one of Marty's favorite movies, Bronx Tale. Who cares if he got a hit yesterday? He doesn't know you. But Ricky, I didn't realize how much he meant to me until I got the news from a dad while I was up in a game last night. He asked me if I heard about Ricky Henderson dying, and I took a couple steps backwards. I just did not know what to say. But Ricky Henderson. Hell of a ball player. I'm glad I got to see him play and got to learn from him. And we'll get into a little bit more of that later as we look ahead to 2025. But Ricky Henderson, Eric going to take a drink for Ricky. That's his third person that you'll ever get me hear me speaking. So yeah. So and that's our little mini in memoriam section. I'm looking back over the year. Can you guys think of anybody else that we should have even the softest excuse to throw back another shot or pull?
I got to go with James Earl Jones.
Oh God, well,
such an icon. Had the most absolutely amazing voice.
I wish this thing was working audio wise, but I got to bring it back.
I told you it was going to be the Jim and Marty show.
There we go.
There he is.
There
he is in the flesh.
And the helmet's in the garage. Failed. Failed.
Oh, James Earl Jones, absolutely. Well, outside here we go. Oh, there it is. All right. Well, outside of Star Wars, now. Oh, Marty remembered his. Very nice. Very
nice.
I have no
it's a Jedi sword,
aside from
not a Vader sword.
Mini Vader there. So, Marty, what outside of Star Wars, what is your favorite James Earl Jones role?
I'm going to say probably. Apparently, this is going over here. I'm sorry. Wait, was he was in other things besides Star Wars?
That's shut up. Don't even with that.
All right.
Are you ready? I'm about to upset Jim. The Lion King. Oh, okay, cool.
Why would that upset Jim?
It was a small part and it was a cartoon.
It was amazing voice work, man. He was so good in that.
He was so good. They had to bring him back. Cartoon. That was an animated feature. K-Tel used to work at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a comic book. It's a graphic novel, man.
It's a graphic novel.
It was that was such a good performance. They had to bring him back for the remake, and I think they might have used his voice in the new Mufasa movie a little bit too. But I can't.
I'll tell you what, his voice did not change as much as you would think as he aged. It changed a little. They had to do a little bit of studio work on it, a little production work on it. But man, I remember. So the reason I'm really pretty impressed with that, for obvious reasons, my dad and myself and my father, my dad and myself and my son, we all sound pretty much the same. Just the age is the only difference, and it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And with him, it really wasn't. It really was not.
Well, yeah. When they brought him back for Rogue One, I mean, he the voice sounded a little bit older, but it was still very much the same Darth Vader that we all grew up with.
He was what, 30 plus years older at that point?
I think he was in his 80s. Yeah.
We're looking at least 40. All right. Well, that to Marty's choice. And now, Jim, I think I may know the answer, considering we talked about him on one of our previous threefers this year, our political intrigue thrillers. But what is your favorite James Earl Jones outside of the Star Wars trilogy?
I'm gonna have to go with two of them, and they couldn't be any more different. But either Thulsa Doom or Field of Dreams.
Ooh, I like the differences there. Yes.
Yeah, it says something about his range that he could play both those parts so well. And outside of film, I mean, if you want to look at on stage, his version of Troy from Fences was unparalleled. Even Denzel couldn't match it. It was incredible. Yes. And even outside of that, I mean, he got up and did I don't remember the game, but it was I believe it was a baseball game. He did the Star Spangled Banner, and he didn't sing it. He performed it like a vocal recording, and it was
like an interpretive dance, be a song. Wow,
no dancing, but it just an oration. He just
in the style of like William Shatner doing this guy with diamonds, kind of like that.
Kind of.
I'm going to kick myself for that analogy. In theater, we call that a monologue reading. A monologue.
Oh,
yes, a monologue. Exactly.
Interpretive dance, but via song.
It's okay.
AJ Laird is going to kick my ass when he watches this show. But yeah, and Field of Dreams.
Still there.
So can I make a slight adjustment to mine? Because I was kind of kidding. And
first to Jim's two choices. Let's take a couple.
yes, sorry.
I took an extra long one there.
Hang in there, Eric.
All right, Marty, you're addendum.
So my addendum, yeah, I was kind of kidding. I was just kind of fucking with Jim, but it's an obvious one for me. But I was just goofing. But in Conan the Barbarian, his name was Thulsa Doom. Thulsa Doom. Thank you.
You just heard it, Marty. Now I'm going to fuck with you.
Did he though?
Like it? Like it? Look, I have my moment. I have my comedy moments. Come on.
Hang in there, Marty.
Yeah. So, thank you, Jim, for recognizing that wonderful work by James Earl Jones and reminding me that,
he was one of those people who was already an icon when I was born. So,
yeah,
now having to see him off in my 40s is it's pretty incredible.
You know what another one is? I was just thinking, I just thought of this. Field of Dreams. He was really good in that too. All right, I'm done fucking around.
Nice try.
I have not yet begun to fuck
around. Jim, I'm surprised wasn't brought up. The one
Jack Ryan movies.
Well, no, that's right. But the Jack Ryan movies and also showing some comedic chops in The Sandlot.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, that was an excellent little role there.
But you guys have mentioned some great ones. I also would be remiss if I did not mention a baseball movie that he was in with Billy D. Williams called The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, about black baseball players just playing games when they weren't allowed to, when they were left out of Major League Baseball. They just went around the country playing baseball games. It was a phenomenal movie I saw as a kid, and just as a baseball guy, like I said, I'd be remiss if I did not mention The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. That's the full title of the movie.
I have not seen that. I'll have to look that one up.
Oh, it's got sweet Billy D. See, I mean, and you tie in the Star Wars stuff there before Billy D. And forget. Well, quick shot for Bingo Long. I saw a great meme in the last couple of weeks. Really, I don't disagree with it unless I didn't put much thought into it after. But what is the greatest cinematic betrayal? I would say Lando Calrissian selling out his boy Han Solo.
I'm gonna have to say Braveheart, when the Lords betrayed William Wallace on the battlefield. That was pretty.
That was pretty rough. That was pretty rough. Yeah. But anybody seen Gone Girl? That one was pretty rough.
Ooh.
In general,
little different, but man, that was a betrayal.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I'm going to stick with mine because I love Ugnaughts too much.
Can we talk more baseball? Is it possible to squeeze some more baseball on the show?
Oh no, Ugnaughts. No. I'd like to see Ugnaughts playing baseball.
I'll just say this about Empire Strikes Back: they bring on Lando and they make him the coolest guy in the whole galaxy, and then boom, he's a traitor, and it's like, come on.
So do you think, and there is some merit to this, maybe he knew he had to go forward with it because he immediately started trying to save the other ones. Like he knew he couldn't save his friend, but he knew his friend cared about these other people. Well, one was a Wookiee and one was a droid, but he cared about them. And
but Marty, when
it wasn't a full betrayal.
It's easy to make that decision to switch and redeem yourself when you've got a Wookiee's hands around your throat, choking you out.
Oh, so you're supposing that he made it up on the fly there.
I'm gonna
choked out. He's like, hold on a minute.
Well, here's the thing: we all get we get buyer's remorse, and we can have Darth Vader remorse as well. I'm with you on that. I'll go.
So there you go.
I'm going to put my nerd hat on, saying, well, actually,
he didn't. Go. That's what I was hoping for. That's
only started to change his plans after Darth Vader changed the deal, and so he said this deal's getting worse all the time. So obviously he had to have changed it after that.
Very, very well done,
And now, Jim, I can hashtag nerd and hashtag Star Wars nerd.
A toast to Jim the nerd.
So, to Star Wars nerds.
Wait,
Woo!
I spend too much time on social media, clearly, to have these when I'm having these arguments.
Well, actually, all right. So, are we wrapping up our in memoriam section? Can we think of anybody else?
I think those are the biggest heavy hitters. Let's see who else. Bob Newhart.
Oh, who are the Academy Awards or Grammys or the Emmys going to omit this year or in the coming year? The next
Probably O.J. Simpson, because
Shannon Doherty.
Probably don't want to bring that one up.
Did O.J. pass this year?
Yeah, just this past year.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't it? I think so.
I haven't been paying enough attention to O.J.
I would toast him if he didn't saw that lady's head off.
Well, one more. Actually, this could be a good thing because you guys aren't as deeply invested in baseball as I am. Pete Rose passed away this year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know.
Was that this year?
Yeah.
That's huge.
And I've always been of the mindset, because Pete meant a lot. Again, anybody born in the 70s or got to see him play in the early to mid 80s before he became a player manager even, you wanted to play like Pete Rose, a guy who didn't have a lot of ability, but still busted his ass. His nickname wasn't Charlie Hustle for nothing. And so we aspired to those. That's how I was raised, balls out for glory, Pete Rose. So I felt, to talk about betrayal, I felt betrayed when he did the gambling and then lied about the lies. So I was always of the mindset, and you get these people, he should still be in the Hall of Fame for all of his records. I don't disagree with that. I never disagreed with that. However, you signed off. You said, I'm banned for life. That was on you, because whether it was remorse or whatever it took, whatever it meant to you for signing that off with Commissioner Bart Giamatti at the time, you signed it. And yes, we are forgiving people. However, I think you keep Joe Jackson out for improprieties. Anyway, but Pete Rose, I just said, here's what I want to do. Because all those records he has obviously the hit king. There's so many more records that Pete Rose has that will never be broken, not even close to being touched. So I was of the mindset, let him know that he's going in the Hall of Fame, but it's going to be posthumously. And you fast track him the year he dies. So if he dies say he dies in May, the next Hall of Fame ceremony, it's end of July every year. So Pete Rose would be posthumously inducted. And that way, he knows he's going into the Hall of Fame, rightfully so, for all the records, for everything he did on the field. But you can't ignore all the things that he may or may have not done gambling-wise on the field. That's why you keep him out till posthumously. So he knows he's going in, but it's after he's gone. So that way he does not get to go up there and have that ego fed, because he was all about the ego. And so that was my mindset. So I say put him in the Hall of Fame next year immediately. As the not so hardcore baseball fans, what are your guys' opinions on that?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think he made some poor decisions,
which we all will do.
So you make 1,000, nay, 1,000,000 good decisions throughout your career, and you make 500 bad ones. That doesn't seem, that seems a little much. So I like your idea. I like that. Obviously, it's a little late now to let him know, but he should definitely be in when it comes around again. He should be in for sure, and they should make a really big fucking deal about it. That guy was a big deal. Yeah. The way he did things, man, that's something any kid with some athletic ability can emulate.
Yeah.
There's kids that are stronger, faster, quicker. A lot of things they can do better than the average kid, but every average kid who's got a little bit of athletic ability can aspire to be like that, can outwork everyone else to be good. And he's like, he's the archetype for, if you don't have all the tools, that's okay. Outwork everybody. And I think that has more value than, oh, gee whiz, he gambled on freaking sports, baseball. But it's not good. But I think his what he did far outweighs that by far. Jim?
Yeah. No, I think so. I think I like the compromise of giving him credit where credit is due, but not letting him enjoy it at this point, because I think that's only fair. But I think just as Roger Maris's Homer record had a giant asterisk on it, rightfully or not rightfully so. Yeah. I think Pete Rose's record should have a giant asterisk on it because he really betrayed his profession in a lot of ways. But I think if you can get past that caveat, I think that you can still reward the talent and reward his performance.
Well, so I think next year we'll find out, because it'll be the first year of voting where he's not with us. So Pete, right, wrong, or indifferent, as I go through middle-aged puberty there, and why not drown some middle-aged puberty with some whiskey?
Just like regular puberty.
Eric, take another shot for Pete Rose.
Bazinga. That was a good one, Jim.
I like it. And a quick, I need to make a correction too, because we're going to go from baseball to music, two of my favorite things. A couple episodes ago, last freestyle, I did my quick top 3 albums of the year. And after some contemplation, and I also realized I need to ombuds myself. I called it Sadness Bastards, but the Black Crowes, here's my album of the year, Happiness Bastards by the Black Crowes. And thank you, Rich and Chris Robinson, for getting back together again. That's still my number 1. My number 2 is still my number 2. The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. Awesome. So glad I got to see them live.
I was about to say, Sadness Bastard works as a Cure album, but
there you go. Nice. Jim with the quip of the night. That's going to be. I think that'll be our first.
I thought he was the movie expert. Turns out he's the comedian.
I love it. So that's my number 2 album of the year. My number 3 album of the year, I said it was Glasgow Eyes by Jesus and Mary Chain. Still, yes. I need to bump that down because I thought about a couple other ones. And here's my number 3 album of the year, Jack White. No Name is the album. If you look on the spine where you normally see on an album, you'll see the artist and then the album name. It's blank. I love that. Jack White always coming up with some fun stuff. And that's my number. I only have 3 out of my top 5 albums on LP this year. That's number 3. Number 4 will be Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs, and Vagabonds, Virgins, and Misfits. That album is just so good. Anybody, I think, who loves rock and roll, we still miss Tom Petty beyond words. Tom Petty was easily my top 5 artists of all time. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and Mike Campbell, his chief lieutenant, his partner in crime, his number 1 partner in crime. He's making great music now. And the show I saw with him earlier this year when I was back in Detroit area, he's rock and roll, man. Still keeping rock and roll alive. So Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs, my number 4 of the year. Number 5 is going to be another act I saw when I was back in the Detroit area. It's their final tour. This looks like it might be their final album. We'll see. But X, Smoke and Fiction. And Marty, they were a mainstay of the Southern California scene. And they were considered like the definition of California punk. Did you ever see X back in your punk days?
I don't think so, but I did do a lot of parties. So it's possible that in that haze of, what did we call it? 40s pubescent, and then it was actual pubescent. I was doing a lot of drinking beer back then, and I was a child, and I may have missed it. So yes, but I did love them. I really did like them. Maybe.
We're going to put Marty down as a possibility, seeing X-Scene and John Doe and DJ Bone Break and Billy Zoom back in the day. That's right, Marty. I just named all 4 original members without blinking an eye.
I was about to just talk so much shit about you, but it is actually impressive. I was going to say something like nerd or dude, you should get laid or something. But you know what? That's impressive.
Oh, hang on a second, and let's see. Where'd they go? Oh, there. I have not had banners on. See, this is why we technically need a producer on this show, because when we're free-forming, I obviously forget things. So there we go.
Hey, look at that.
Yes, thank you. Marty and I were talking recently, and just obviously, if you haven't figured it out by watching all over the place, folks, I'm a bit of a music fan, and Marty, I am flattered by your words the other day, and yeah, it's just all this useless knowledge up here, and it's just it's a parlor trick, I guess.
Well, for those of you who maybe haven't watched a lot of episodes and you're trying to figure out the dynamic of this little threesome, I don't know which way I'm pointing to who, but one of them is a movie expert and one of them is a music expert. And then there's me. I'm the dancing monkey.
But damn it, man, you're our dancing monkey. And on that note,
That's right.
I've mentioned it in recent episodes. Marty, we missed you for so much of this year.
Yep.
And as your friend, first and foremost, and as a co-host on this show, fuck, man, I'm so glad that you're back. Jim and I miss you beyond words. And I'm taking a long motherfucking swig for Martin Zamora right now.
Oh, good Lord.
Dude, I cannot tell you how many episodes we did where I was like, man, Marty would have been perfect for this one. I wish he was here.
Yes.
Over and over again.
Dancing monkey.
So, psyched to have you back, man.
It's been a fun year, and it's been more fun with you than without you. So it's like
You're here.
And glad to be here. I have a blast with you guys every time. It's few and far between where it feels dull. It always feels very good, very spontaneous talking with you guys, and just I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy hanging out with both of you guys, even though it's virtual. Would it be all right if I ask a semi-intelligent question?
Oh, hang on one second, because we're going to debut. Jim has had one. I briefly had one. Marty, now you do.
Okay, we'll edit this out, okay? Can you make that say a semi-intelligent question with Marty?
Okay.
Because that fits so much better.
Can I?
So just semi-intelligent question with Marty.
I love editing. I also love getting drunk. Boom, boom, boom. Save and
There you go. There you go.
Nice.
All right, ready? Ready?
go.
Wait, I'm not going to. Okay, as you did at the beginning of this show, you probably caught it too. He was like 3, 2, 1.
You can count to 1, clearly.
He counted it completely not the same as his hand.
Anyway, I'm glad somebody picked up on that. Thank you.
I spotted it. Give me a 3, 2, 1.
I was going to let it go, man.
3.
Do you guys mind if I ask a semi-intelligent question?
Absolutely. Or as James Hetfield would say, abso-motherfucking-lutely.
I see that we are 1 hour and 5 minutes in. Are we going to start the show soon?
Yes.
Wait, we're doing a show?
Yes. So anyway, hey, I see Jim got a refill. Excellent.
Magically refill itself like Thor's mug.
All right, onward we go. I noticed it took us 40 minutes to get through the dead folk. I don't care how long it goes, but I was just trying to be,
I like it.
Fair enough. Over the line, Marty, habitually.
What are we going to next so I can act surprised? More albums that nobody
wait a minute. I just realized. And that I didn't show it earlier but it's so nice that some of these bands that with vinyl, they're hearkening back to the days when you got stuff with albums. You get a poster with albums these days. The Cure gave me one, and so did Marty's favorite band, U2. That's right, Marty. The Irish girl's not here anymore, but I still love you too.
So, are we going to talk more? The show's back on again, right? Are we going to talk?
We never stopped.
More about bands nobody's heard of, or albums nobody's ever heard?
I thought that's what we did here.
Oh, you mean Drew Cooper and his?
This is what I'm getting at, Jim. He was picking some shit up, and I knew he was going to go to the next thing.
That's right. This Life, Drew Cooper. I saw open for Lucero.
Wait,
no,
time out.
Shit.
Other than Eric, do you know who Lucero is?
If you don't, you haven't. You've done yourself. I know you do because you went and listened to them along with the Vandaliers, and I'm going to edit that out. Drew Cooper, who opened for Vandaliers at a house party.
Without Eric's influence, would you know who they are, Jim?
Well, it's not fair to say because I've had Eric's influence, but probably not.
Okay. I think.
Oh, hang on a second. I get to unveil a new one here too. Hang on.
I like the Vandaliers better, but
yes.
Here we go.
Trivia with Eric. Jim might know who Lucero is from the Tom Hardy movie that came out earlier this year, The Bike Riders.
Okay.
Which I have not seen.
Which I believe is available on. It's not Prime. It might be available on Prime by now, but I believe it's available on Paramount.
Okay.
Yes. On one of the other streamers.
No, the trailer looks badass. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
The movie was good.
I saw it. It's good.
If it's got Marty's approval, because Marty's a bike guy. My only beef with that movie was Austin Butler was really underutilized because he was just a pretty face in that movie, and that guy's acting ability deserves better than what that movie brought. Good movie, would have been a lot better had Austin Butler had more to work with.
Yeah, I think so too. It reeked a little of Sons of Anarchy, but there's 1,000 other movies you can refer to where the bad boy, the good girl, oh my God, what's going to happen? I mean, there's a lot of movies like that, and life too. It happens in life a lot. Just look at my relationship of 19 years. Good girl, dumbass.
Dancing monkey.
Dancing monkey. Sorry. So,
AKA smartest guy in the room.
In case no one knows, I always feel like I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I also know that's probably not true.
I've known him almost 6 years, folks. It fits. Even if Marty's got to fake it, it fits.
So anyway, the movie is really good, but it does have a little of that formula to it. You'll like it.
But it's also written by Ben Nichols, the lead singer of Lucero, his brother. I'm not sure if he wrote it, but he directed it. He also did Mud. His brother is, I'm blanking on Ben's brother's name, but Nichols obviously the last name. But check it out, Jim. It's definitely worth seeing. But yeah, just know that Austin Butler, a little underutilized. But Tom Hardy, as usual, badass.
Man, Tom Hardy. Oh, man. There's a bit of De Niro there where he plays the same dude, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good dude that he plays. It's really good.
He's got that physical presence where, like, no matter what, he doesn't really have to convince you he can kick your ass. He just walks into a room and it's like you can just smell it on him. He's just
believe it.
Badass.
Speaking of things that we're probably getting edited out, have you guys, either of you, seen the Mr. In Between?
The show?
I don't know what that is.
I've heard of it. I've not seen it. I've seen clips on YouTube, but I haven't seen the show.
I have only seen a little bit of the show. I saw the clip. That led me to watching the show. It's pretty good. So if you're looking for a cool show to check out, that's worth looking at. He's really good doing the sort of smiling viper type,
Ooh.
Nice.
All right, back to where we've been. Go.
Yeah. Well, while we're also on the note of things recently watched on streaming, Marty, I finished all 3 episodes of Best of Enemies, which is it was. I'm not sure if it was a 30 for 30 or it was an ESPN documentary it's on Netflix now, and it's about the Celtics and Lakers and their storied history, and 3 episodes. And I especially like the episode 2, which specifically dealt with 1984 specifically, the second of third technically of the Celtics championships that I remember from my youth / teenage years. And then the last episode 3 was about the Lakers finding redemption and finally getting the Celtics monkey off their back. I'm a Celtics guy. Were I smarter about this, I'd have my Larry Bird jersey on or at the ready right now. But if you love basketball, folks, and the third episode gets into this and how the Lakers and Celtics set the table for everything that's still going on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm a Celtics guy, Marty, Southern California guy, Lakers.
Laker fan.
What was it like for you? Because I'm a guy from Pennsylvania who grew up in Ohio, and I love Larry Bird. I just that Midwest work ethic, all that stuff. But for you to be in LA at the time, what was that like to see the Lakers at peak performance?
Yeah, it was fantastic, and you saw like you do. I'll compare it to when the Chargers had a good team. You never saw so much Charger gear in San Diego, and I was living there at the time, and it was super annoying.
No, are we talking about the Dan Faust, Charlie Joyner?
No. We're talking the Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, Gates, Sayal.
Gotcha.
That time where they hardly should have lost a game, but they couldn't seem to win. This was the same, but times 10. Everybody was a Laker fan, even non-basketball fans. It was fantastic. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to be part of that, knowing that was your hometown team, and like that was cool. It was a lot of fun. And yet another album no one's ever heard of.
No, this is how I think, folks.
Back around every time.
This is how I think.
Back to an album he's got.
Well, you're gonna like this, and I think everybody will like how. This is DJ Baby Powder at his fucking finest right now. So I'm going to take a band from Boston to describe the team in LA in the 80s. It's showtime.
Yes, showtime.
Everybody bow before Eric Baby Powder, DJ Baby Powder Pervoznik.
All right,
boom.
Let's just pump the fucking brakes here for a minute. Did you hear what I just heard, Jim? DJ fucking Baby Powder? Good Lord, what is that?
I'm translucent as a ghost, motherfucker.
You self-applied that? Holy shit.
I'm DJ Baby. Hey, the kids at Canyon State love DJ Baby Powder.
Do you ever get laid from it? Because that's the real measure.
Not yet.
Good Lord, wasn't that like 20 years ago?
Well,
persistent, Marty.
So, but the documentary was great, and it detailed, and I've said, Michael Jordan. I mean, there are so many greats through and I think basketball more than any sport, you've got to apply generationally who's the best at the time. Whether you've got Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain going up against each other, and even throw in a Bob Cousy and a Jerry West in the 60s. 70s, you're looking at Dr. J. So Elgin Baylor, so many players. But when you get to Magic and Larry in the 80s, you don't have one without the other. Man, they just pushed each other more than I think any player, at least until maybe Steph Curry and LeBron James.
Yeah.
And they just made basketball fun again. They made basketball. They got people watching. And this documentary, they detail that so well. And I hate the Devil's Network, ESPN, ESPN, the Devil's Network. But my God, they make great documentaries. And I highly recommend The Best of Enemies.
Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely go through it. It's only 3 episodes. I will knock it out. That was so much fun, and not a lot of rivalries. And I'll admit it. Larry Bird is a better basketball player than Magic Johnson. They're both great, but I think Larry Bird is like top 5 great. He's up there knocking on Jordan's door. Like, he's that good, that great.
I don't say this begrudgingly, because again, I don't think you've got one without the other. And one of my favorite pastimes when I lived in LA was walking into a basketball court, or on my 34th, on the eve of my 34th birthday. I went out drinking with one of our other guests, and now I get to tag him, Zach Selwyn and I. we went out drinking at the Oyster Bar for my 33rd or my 34th birthday. So I was 33 when I walked in. So I was wearing my Larry Bird jersey. We walk out of the back patio, and yes, I'm gonna name drop now right now. I got to drink with Kiefer Sutherland and his crew, and so and just to see LA people say, "Oh, boo!" But he was a badass. So that was the respect, and I had nothing. I hated the Lakers. I still hate the Lakers.
Yeah.
And my friend Brian Patterson got me a great birthday graduation present. It was "Fuck LA," because he's a Pistons guy, and but you don't have Larry without Magic. You don't have Magic without Larry. But in the documentary, they talked about because Magic was so good, like Larry, making the people around him better, and certainly Larry maybe a better individual player. Yeah, I'd agree with Marty on that one. But when Pat Riley, after the Celtics win in '84, Lakers win in '85 against they finally got their Celtics monkey off their back in the '85-'86 season. I'm sorry, '84-'85, '85-'86. The Celtics win with an amazing team, bringing Bill Walton in as the sixth man of the year.
Yeah, thumpy foot.
What's that?
Thumpy foot.
Exactly.
He could have been one of the greats, but he had mush feet.
And there aren't many hippies I like, but he is one of them.
By the way, as a tribute to Riles.
Hold on. Wait, I'm going to edit.
This won't be a question. This is just
no. I'm changing it. I edited midstream here.
Little tip of the hat to Pat Riley, my friend and yours. I love the guy. There it is. There we go.
The original Slick before Jimmy Johnson. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
But the way Magic stepped up and Riley handed him the keys of the kingdom and said, I'm making you the focal point of the offense for the 86-87 season. I love it. Magic says, are you sure Kareem is good with this? And after Larry won 3 consecutive MVPs, Magic stole it away from him. Not stole. He earned it away from him. So I got nothing but respect for Magic. I hate them, but I got nothing but respect for those 80s Lakers. That was the greatest rivalry of all time in basketball. All sports depends on mileage may vary. I'd say yes, greatest rivalry ever.
I have another semi-intelligent question. We are now an hour 20 in, and Jim pointed this out.
There's been some there will be some editing, but yes.
Are we going to talk about 2024 at all on this 2024 show? That's just my question. I don't know. Maybe it's not semi-intelligent. Maybe it's a dumb question, but just saying.
Well, a shot for Marty for an excellent observation.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, shit. I noticed Jim's being the responsible driver here.
They took the bar, the whole fucking bar.
How many refills have you had?
I had 2 of these and a beer. So
Yeah.
I'd have to measure, but I'm almost done.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Again. What a guy.
Hydrate.
All over the place, where the fun sanity never ends.